Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
National Center for Assistive Health Technology at IIT Madras is a center that enables research and development in assistive technologies. It envisages user empowerment by showing the possibilities through technology, minimizing unconscious bias in the minds of engineers, assistive technology developers, policy makers, general public, and paving the way for better AT solutions and policies. Let's know more about it from Professor Sujata Srinivasan.
So we have been working in this area of assistive devices for over a decade now. In 2015, the TTK Center R2D2 was established with funding from TTK Prestige, and the goal was to take our innovations in assistive devices, which are devices for people with locomotor disability. That's the area we work in. The goal was to take several of these devices to market, because there are over 30 million people in India with locomotor disability. This could be because of various causes like amputations, spinal cord injury, muscular dystrophy, and now with aging also people need assistive devices to help them be functional. And most of these people, more than 90% of these people, do not have access to appropriate devices. Devices need to be appropriate so that they help the person using them become independent, have access to educational, employment, leisure opportunities, as well as participate in society like everybody else. You don't see many people with disability in and around you, even though they form almost 10% of the population. And the reason for that is that they lack the correct devices to enable them to be independent. So at R2D2, our mission was to try and change that scenario. So we've been developing, we've been doing R&D of assistive devices, but we are also working to make sure that these innovations reach the market. This could be either with an existing industry partner or through our startups. We already have one successful startup, NeoMotion, which has commercialized a customizable, very energy efficient wheelchair that is more ergonomic, more biomechanically appropriate, so that the users with a single push can move farther than with a conventional wheelchair. And this wheelchair also comes with a motorized add-on, so that the person doesn't have to transfer to a tri-scooter or a tricycle if they want to travel longer distances. The motorized tri-scooter attaches in a few seconds and they're off. Their wheelchair is now converted to an outdoor mobility device. So it provides this seamless indoor-outdoor mobility. That's one of the products that has been now on the market for over 3 years. And NeoMotion is a startup that was incubated at IIT Madras and is now has graduated from this incubation program, and they are operating successfully. They have sold their products all over India. They have a very innovative way of assessing the potential user, taking measurements. So this is a fully customized wheelchair, and all this is done remotely through video calls, and a customized wheelchair, the customized product arrives at the user's doorstep. Sometimes we are asked this question, your products are wheelchairs. There have been wheelchairs for many decades. Then there are other polycentric knees, there are other standing wheelchairs also, for instance. Where the innovation comes in is how we customize these devices, because generally customized devices are extremely expensive. Like when we tried to get a standing wheelchair from the US for benchmarking, they told us, tell us where the patient is, we will come, take measurements and then build it for you. Okay? What we have accomplished with our designs is, in the design itself we build in the customizability, so that this product is still mass manufacturable. So you have the economics of mass manufacturing, which makes it affordable, and at the same time it's very customizable. So there is innovation in our products, there is innovation in the way we deliver the products. So there are aspects of this that where we have tried to incorporate innovation. So for instance, in the standing wheelchair, the knee block in the standing wheelchair is a very essential part for the safety of the user. The knee block has to be in place properly before the user stands. So even though it's a completely mechanical device, we have incorporated a safety lock. So if the knee block is not in place properly, the knee block has to be removable for portability and for the user to get into the wheelchair and all that. So we can't keep it fixed. It is, movable. But if it's not in place properly, the standing mechanism won't work. So, we have incorporated safety features like this, and it has a, wheel base that is longer, so it can be used on uneven terrain. It's easier to propel on uneven terrain. Similarly with the NeoFly, all the customization is built in to the design so that it is still mass manufacturable, and therefore it costs several times less than comparable imported products. And a customized solution without the user having to leave their place, leave their home. A customized solution lands at their doorstep. So there is innovation in the delivery of, in how the product is customized and delivered as well. We are also conducting training programs. So we've realized that it's not just about the products, we need to increase awareness. Even doctors, surgeons, physical therapists, occupational therapists, and of course the end users, they don't know what is available. They don't know what is suitable for their condition. So we are also creating, we have a clinical team in-house. Even though we are an institute of technology, at R2D2 we've been having a clinical team consisting of occupational therapists and physical therapists, and also other wheelchair users who are peer trainers, who are expert wheelchair users, so that we can guide other users better on how to choose the right kind of device, and also how to assess a person who needs an assistive device on what device would be appropriate for them, and then how to take the measurements to customize the device. So we have created training programs around all these aspects, and then once the device comes, what kind of fitting needs to be done, and also training for the user. So we have created, we are trying to provide like a comprehensive solution to this problem of assistive devices not meeting the needs of the users. Our team is also very inclusive. We have people who are wheelchair users on our staff. NeoMotion also employs about 25% of their employees are people with disability. So people with, say, hearing or speech impairments, they work on the assembly line, and all their field executives are actual users of the product. So again, there is innovation in that, because the marketing is done by actual users, so they have more credibility. Also, these users are all over the place. So if, say, there is an exhibition in Mumbai, instead of somebody from here taking the product to Mumbai and going there, we ask one of the field executives to come there, a nearby field executive to come there and demonstrate the device. So many times if somebody in that area wants a test drive, the field executive provides that to them. So it provides employment for this person with disability. It helps them help other potential users, and for other users it's more comfortable for them to actually get feedback about the device from another user. So there's innovation. Innovation, we always think in terms of devices. What I want to bring out here is that innovation can be in multiple areas that will still have a large impact on the ultimate goal that we have of changing the assistive device landscape in India. We want people to have easy access to the best possible devices, to the most appropriate devices for them in an affordable manner. And we want to take these devices globally. We want to show what we can do in India that will have global impact.
National Center for Assistive Health Technologies has created a zone where people can experience both ability and disability. You want to know more? Let's find out.
So let us see the dark room. When you enter, you can see the traveling space. So the height of the traveling space here is at around 5.1. So here people can definitely enter easily, but at the end of this space, it is going down, and at the end it is 3.1. So a person should bend himself to get out of this space. And this is the dark room where this space will be completely dark, pitch dark. So we can experience how a person with visual impairment is experiencing. Here we have placed a maze. To solve this maze, only if we solve this maze, we can open the door. So it is very easy in the light to open this, but when it is dark, it will be very difficult. So we can simulate the experiences of persons with visual impairment, how they are navigating through the world, because a lot of obstacles are there. So they have to experience. People who are coming here, they have to experience.
Vanakkam, என் பேர் Jennifer.
Greetings, my name is Jennifer. I had an accident in 2013 which led me with a spinal cord injury. After that, I was using a standard manual wheelchair and was largely dependent on the help of others to get around my daily activities. I have a daughter who's currently in 11th standard. I had given birth to her before my accident, but after the accident, I was bedridden for 6 years. Shortly after my accident, my husband left me and my daughter, and after he left, I had to take care of my daughter as a single mother while dealing with the injury. One day I happened to come across another wheelchair user who was very independent in his wheelchair, and because of him I got introduced to the R2D2 center. So then I came here. I was here for 4 months learning wheelchair skills from a trainer. After these 4 months of training, I saw my life change a lot. I started becoming independent in my house activities, taking care of my daughter. I started going for work, and I even started participating in sports. So before I was using a standard manual wheelchair. Then after the training, I was given a customizable wheelchair by R2D2, and now I'm able to do most of my activities all by myself and independently.
My advice to potential innovators and entrepreneurs in this space would be to understand who your user is going to be. Make sure your design is user-centric. Involve the users in the development from the beginning. Please make sure that you involve your potential users and other stakeholders during the development phase. Don't think that, oh, this is a great technology, and then try to push it on people. That usually never goes well. It's better that you develop things that users want, understand their needs, and not only the end users' needs, but also other stakeholders may be involved. Like for instance, in this space, the therapists who deal with who who will probably be prescribing the devices. You need to get them on board, the doctors, the medical professionals. Other people also need to understand the benefit of these policy makers. You know, for you to help get the market, you have to have policy makers on board who understand the impact these devices can have on people with disability and help them contribute to the GDP. You know, a lot of them are now stuck at home because they have no means of going to their workplace and they don't have the right devices, or even, you know, if a person with visual impairment doesn't have a screen reader, they don't have the right tools to work, but many of them are brilliant, and you know, we are losing out on their potential. When we give them the right, when we develop the right devices for them and make them employable, we are contributing to the country's GDP. And I think this is something, you know, so it's not just about charity, it's not about altruism, it's not about that. It is good for the economy as well that we integrate and include people with disability by providing them, by designing, innovating and getting the right assistive devices to them.